Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about Bryce Hall, essentially where he came from, how did he get to where he is today, and in my opinion, how he became like Gen Z's Jake Paul or YouTube's new Jake Paul. So yeah, I don't want to make this too long, so let's just get into it. From what I can tell, Bryce Hall grew up in a suburb of Baltimore in Maryland, and from his early Instagram pics, he just seemed like a normal teenager, just, seems to like hang out with friends, goes to high school, just a normal teenager. So Bryce actually started doing social media in 2014 on the app YouNow, which is a bit unexpected. So if you don't know what YouNow is, I don't blame you because literally no one uses it anymore. But it's essentially like a streaming or broadcasting app where creators can interact with their fans. It's essentially the same thing as like Instagram Live or like going live on YouTube. Essentially, it's just to interact with fans. So YouNow was really popular back in 2015/2016. Especially with the younger generation. So for example, I remember Tana Mojo would use YouNow a lot, and like other Musical.ly stars. Essentially, it was some YouTubers, a lot of Musical.ly stars, but it was definitely more for the younger generation. So it does make sense that Bryce started on YouNow because he does fit into that age demographic of preteens and teenagers that would mostly use the app. But pretty quickly after starting on YouNow, he did transition over into more popular apps where he could create his own original content like Vine and Musical.ly. So in terms of which app he started first, Vine or Musical.ly, I don't really know. His earliest Vine is from 2015, but he could have easily just deleted some Vines that were up before that. And in terms of Musical.ly, I don't know because Musical.ly just doesn't exist anymore. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to say that he started both around late 2014, early 2015. So although Bryce was still doing lives on YouNow and was presumably doing Vine at the same time, Musical.ly is really where Bryce saw his greatest success. If you don't know, Musical.ly is the same thing as TikTok. Essentially, in 2018, Musical.ly was rebranded as TikTok, but just to be clear, they are essentially the same thing. The main difference between TikTok and Musical.ly is the sort of content that people were posting and the age demographic that were using the app. So when TikTok was Musical.ly, essentially the majority of content that made up the app was lip syncing and like dance videos. So not entirely unlike TikTok, but that sort of content was like the entire app, where TikTok, as you probably know, has a vast majority of content. Since lip syncing videos was what was popular on Musical.ly, it majority appealed to preteens, teens, and kids. It was also preteens and teens that were making the content on the app. So it was preteens and teens that were making the content, and it was pretty much the same age demographic and younger that were consuming that content. So Bryce Hall was doing just that. He was making lip syncing and dancing videos on Musical.ly, and he was pretty popular. It makes a lot of sense to me that Bryce was popular on Musical.ly because to get popular on that app, not unlike TikTok, you literally just have to be like a conventionally attractive white person. And I don't want to call Bryce a conventionally attractive white person, but I guess objectively he is. And when you're a conventionally attractive white person, kids and teens eat that shit up. So yeah, he was popular. So as Bryce started to gain followers on Musical.ly, he started collaborating with more popular Musical.ly artists like Lauren Gray, Jacob Sartorius, Mario Salmon, and many more. So these collaborations with even more popular Musical.ly stars just contributed to Bryce's popularity, and he became one of the most popular Musical.ly stars on the app. So Bryce started his YouTube channel in 2015, and he would post, collab videos with other Musical.ly stars and other pretty typical, stupid videos that people of his age would post at the time and were popular at the time. So he actually went on tour in 2015 with a group of other presumably Musical.ly stars, but I don't really know what it was called, and I'm seriously, honestly, too lazy to look it up, but I'll include a photo. So by 2016, Bryce was consistently attending creator conventions like Playlist Live and VidCon and was kind of a household name. However, 2017 was objectively a bad year for Bryce's reputation. So in 2017, Bryce and another friend of his, who's also a Musical.ly star, Mikey Barone, accused his then manager, Michael Weist, of assault. So Bryce tweeted, "Managers who touch their clients in ways they don't want to be touched hide the truth by hacking their Twitter accounts." I don't know. That's what he tweeted. Now, I don't know if Bryce was accusing Weist of touching him himself, or if he was accusing Weist of touching another client or an employee. I'm not really sure. But recently, Michael Weist, a former employee and a former client, went on Dr. Phil, and a former employee of his accused him of. So I don't really know who he was accused of sexual assaulting. He seems like a shady dude. I'm gonna move on. Okay. So Weist sued both Bryce and Mikey for defamation, and it was settled outside of court. After the settlement, Bryce apologized and sort of retracted what he had originally said. Now, I hesitated including this in this video because obviously allegations of physical should be taken really seriously, but I felt that it was important to include, so there you go. My opinion on the whole situation is that Weiss seems like a bad guy, from TanaCon to these allegations to now working with the underage Danielle Cohen. Just seems like a bad dude. So just a few days after Bryce accused Weist of sexual assault, he got in trouble for peeing on fans off of a balcony at Playlist Live 2017, allegedly. So Bryce actually admitted to peeing off of a balcony at Playlist Live, but he denies that he peed onto fans, but obviously that's a contentious point.
I'm gonna explain the night right now really quick. I'm gonna sum it up a little bit. It was like 4 a.m. I drank some apple juice, and I don't know, this apple juice kind of took over my body in a sense, and people were daring me, the people that I was with, bad influences by the way, they were daring me to pee off the balcony. And when you drink a lot of apple juice, you gotta pee a lot. And my mind wasn't in the right, and I just was like, hey, there's a balcony right there to my left. Everyone's like, do it, you won't. And then I kind of did it with my dumb ass. But it was 4 a.m. and there was a lot of people with a whole bunch of different stories saying I actually peed on fans. No, it was 4 a.m. Everyone was asleep. It was just stupid of me to do in general. Playlist, I'm super sorry by the way. Still banned by the way.
So Bryce also got into trouble that same year at a different creator convention, VidCon, for getting into a fight, which, spoiler alert, is not going to be the last time Bryce gets into a fight in this video. He actually got kicked out of VidCon, kicked out of his hotel, got arrested, and I think, from the videos I watched, got banned from VidCon. So just to clarify, it wasn't just Bryce that got into trouble during VidCon in 2017. It was him and a group of friends. But needless to say, 2017 was not a good year for Bryce in a lot of ways. So in 2018, it really seemed like Bryce wanted to leave his past mistakes and controversies back last year and wanted to start the new year off on a good foot. So he had taken a break from YouTube, he had moved to LA, and it genuinely seemed like he wanted a fresh start. I mean, he literally released merch with the words "New Beginnings" printed on the t-shirt. So in the year 2018, Bryce was still going on tour. He was posting YouTube videos consistently, and I assume he was still posting to Musical.ly, but I don't really know. By 2018, Musical.ly was not as popular as it once was back in 2015, 2016, and it actually went through a complete rebranding and was renamed TikTok. Bryce, being that most of his popularity had come from Musical.ly, and due to the app not being as popular as it once was not really as popular as he once was, or was not at the peak of his popularity. Bryce was still somewhat of a household name, especially with the younger generation, but he was no David Dobrik or like Jake Paul. So when Musical.ly transitioned over to TikTok, I don't know if Bryce was still posting on the app. His earliest TikTok is from 2019, but again, he easily just could have deleted earlier TikToks. 2018 was a relatively good year for Bryce in terms of his like reputation. He hadn't gotten into any public fights. He hadn't peed on any more fans. Except that's a lie. That's not true. In December of 2018, Bryce assaulted his friend and fellow Musical.ly star Zach Clayton, allegedly because Zach knew that Bryce had cheated on his girlfriend. So this is actually when I first found out about Bryce, because I used to avidly watch Tana Mojo, which is extremely embarrassing, and I don't really want to talk about it. But yeah, Bryce actually admitted to beating Zach up and apologized on Twitter, which I will include that tweet here. So in late 2018, early 2019, TikTok was still seen as a sort of equivalent to what Musical.ly was. It was a majority app for preteens and teens, where they posted like the dancing, cringy videos. There were literally dozens of YouTube videos at the time on TikTok and at these kids and what they were posting. It was not cool to be on TikTok in 2018, early 2019. It really wasn't until late 2019 that TikTok got extremely popular among an increased age demographic, and it was around this time that Bryce seemed to have started posting on TikTok. This was also around the same time that the first TikTok content house was created, the Hype House, which included members and popular members like Charli D'Amelio, Chase Hudson, and Addison Rae. So a month after the Hype House was created in December of 2019, the Sway House was created in January of 2020 and included Bryce Hall. So by this point, by 2020, Bryce was extremely popular. Bryce essentially was like 50 times more popular than he was back on Musical.ly. It wasn't just Bryce being popular with preteens and teens. He was known among like adults now, like the general YouTube, TikTok space. So Bryce's first controversy in 2020 and in this TikTok era was when he and fellow Sway House members were arrested in Texas on drug charges in May of 2020. Literally the next month later, in June of 2020, he tried to start a fight with a fellow TikToker and made the cringiest video ever, which I will include clips of here, where Bryce is literally just trying to fight like this kid who clearly just has like no interest.
Here, I'm gonna give you some advice. Look. When you talk shit, you're usually supposed to back it up in person. Big shocker, guys. There's another pussy on the internet. Wait, you said your friends are gonna... You guys caught that. Why don't you just do... I'm right here. Hit me. I dare you.
In that same month, June of 2020, he made a stupid tweet about heterophobia, which does not exist. And throughout the entirety of last summer, the summer of 2020, he threw large parties during a panorama. Yay! Bryce famously got one of his parties shut down by the mayor of LA, and he was actually charged by the Los Angeles city attorney with a misdemeanor for violating COVID rules. So in October of 2020, Bryce got into a fight with someone for allegedly damaging their car. That same month, he got into a fight with staffers at a Mexican restaurant in LA after refusing to stop vaping. Now, he's actually being sued for his involvement in the fight, and some believe that it was actually racially motivated, as some of the staffers were Hispanic, I assume, or Latin American. So I'm not actually sure when this clip resurfaced, but a clip resurfaced of Bryce slut-shaming a girl on, I think, YouNow. I'll include that clip here. It's really disgusting.
You're loud if you don't shut the fuck up. Don't tell me what the fuck to do. You have a hickey on your neck as we're calling you a whore. Like, shut up. Hickey on your neck. And then say, don't fucking slut shame me. I'm not a slut. You don't know my life. I'm 20 years old. As her tits are.
Like, if you don't want to get slut shamed, don't post pictures of your ass and pin them as your Twitter header.
What the fuck I want.
Right.
Just like you can go around fucking.
Don't come to broadcast. Okay, I'm gonna jump you.
I think it shows his true character. Now, back to present day, 2021, Bryce is going to fight Ace Family's Austin McBroom, and he just recently got into an altercation with Austin at a press conference. So Bryce is currently at his peak in popularity so far. He has almost 20 million followers on TikTok and over 3 million subscribers on YouTube, and almost 8 million followers on Instagram. He dated one of Gen Z's biggest celebrity TikTokers, Addison Rae, and is now participating in a televised fight. So I think that there are a few big takeaways when you look at the span of Bryce's career as an influencer, and I think that his path is really quite similar to that of Jake Paul's. Number one is that they both seem to feed off of controversy. Bryce has never been as popular as he is now or has been in the past year, which is the year that he's had like the most controversies. But the same could also be said about Jake Paul. Jake Paul was the most popular back when he was literally setting fires to couches with Team 10, and now is like having a reemergence with his boxing career. Both Bryce and Jake transitioned from shorter form content apps to longer form content apps like YouTube and gained success that way. As you probably know, Jake started on Vine and Bryce really started on Musical.ly, and they both transitioned over to YouTube, like I said before. And in that way, and in many other ways, Jake Paul and Bryce are really taking the same career path. Jake Paul is getting into boxing, and now look who's also getting into boxing. Bryce Hall. Next thing you know, Bryce Hall is going to start making trashy rap music. Both Bryce and Jake have gotten into trouble with the law, Bryce being charged by the Los Angeles city attorney's office, and Jake Paul's house being raided by the FBI. Both Bryce and Jake have young fan bases, which really is the only reason why they're popular, because no sensible adult would like Jake Paul or Bryce Hall. I think like some recent evidence that just shows that Bryce is really just popular with children and not with people of his own age is the fact that he went to a frat party in San Diego and genuinely believed that he was going to be welcomed with open arms and that everyone was going to love him. But in reality, he literally was just bullied out of the party, which is kind of funny.
Yo, boys, we got fucking terms and conditions to get in here. Bryce Hall, dude, like, you're not fucking... Bryce Hall, dude, you're not getting in.
What's your fucking name, dog? You felt that. I'll give you another one, bitch. You felt that, pussy. Yo, Bryce.
Also, I think this is a pretty obvious one, but both Bryce and Jake, they don't seem like great people. So, yeah. So, I hope you guys liked this video. It took me like a week to like make like the script for this because I had to like consume all this Bryce Hall content and it was literally terrible and I hated myself. I don't know if you could tell, but near the end there I was literally just listing controversies off because I couldn't be bothered to try to analyze his behavior when it literally just seems like he's a bad person and like that's it. Subscribe for more content like this and give this video a like. And follow me on my social media, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!